Welcome to the Archive Network. I'm Aurelius, and with me, as always, Malik. We curate the Exploration Archive. Today we open a new file. Ferdinand Magellan. Malik, you've had this one on your desk for a while. In a dimly lit chart house, Magellan sat deep in thought, contemplating his future. Maps were spread across the table, the ink still tacky from his careful strokes. The air was thick with the scent of ink and damp rope, a fitting reflection of his boundless ambition. He found himself grappling with a critical question. Could the Moluccas truly be reached by sailing west? This was the moment when the course of history could shift, and he knew the stakes were high.
That question wasn't just theoretical, Aurelius. It was a gamble that cut to the core of what exploration really means. Magellan lived in a world where everything was in flux, and loyalties shifted like the tides. He hailed from a land where the spice trade could mean survival or ruin, where families depended on those precious goods. It wasn't just about profit. It was about lives intertwined with every voyage, every risk taken on the open sea.
True. The Indian Ocean was a hotbed of commerce, teeming with ships and traders from every corner. Yet, the westward path was also an act of geographical faith. Magellan understood that the trade routes were tangled in fierce rivalry, with prices swinging wildly, often dictated by a crown he once served. To embark on such a venture required not just ambition, but a willingness to gamble everything. It was a leap into the unknown, a testament to the daring spirit of exploration.
And that's where I challenge you. It was more than just ambition. It was sheer desperation. The crown's grip on the spice routes left Magellan with hardly any choices. Sailing west wasn't merely a clever strategy. It was his lifeline, his only hope in a game stacked against him. The stakes were incredibly high, and the lives of his crew hung in the balance. Each decision could mean success or failure, and he knew that all too well.
You're not wrong. Convincing a monarch to support such an endeavor required another kind of navigation. Magellan needed royal patience and a treasury willing to gamble on timber and lives. He argued for a fleet, presenting it as a bold investment. The contract he forged was a blend of profit, prestige, and empire, appealing to the crown's insatiable appetite for expansion. It wasn't just about exploration. It was about securing a legacy that would echo through history, a testament to what we can achieve when ambition meets opportunity.
Exactly. But that contract wasn't just about ambition. It was a lifeline for many of those who would sail with him. The crew came from all walks of life, each with their own reasons. Some were eager for wages, others were chasing titles, and many just wanted to break free from stagnant lives. This mixture of motives shows the very real human cost behind the grand vision. Each person had their own dreams and struggles, and those stories matter.
Very true. The preparations were meticulous, treating uncertainty as a solvable problem. Shipwrights crafted detailed plans, while clerks meticulously counted provisions, ensuring every barrel and sack was accounted for. But no amount of preparation can truly measure the unforeseen. Storms brewing on the horizon, mutiny stirring in the hearts of men, or the slow erosion of resolve that creeps in during hardship. This voyage was fraught with peril, and we would soon learn how fragile our certainties really are.
And that's the crux of it. The shipyards could create ships, but they couldn't create the men who would sail them. Those men were not just numbers. They were individuals with hopes and fears. Each one had a story, a life left behind. As they prepared for departure, the air was thick with unspoken words and heavy hearts. There was no ceremony, only the weight of their choices pressing down, reminding them of everything they were leaving behind.
As dawn broke, the river lay calm, a sheet of pewter reflecting the early light. The last cases were secured, and men took their places aboard, their faces a mix of resolve and anxiety. The harbor held its breath, as if sensing the weight of what was to come. This moment marked our shift from preparation to action, from meticulous plans to the vast unknown ahead. A new chapter was about to unfold, and we all knew the stakes were high.
But it wasn't just about the ships setting sail. It was about the men who stood on those decks, gazing out at the endless blue. They were trading one uncertainty for another, leaving behind familiar shores for the unknown. The ocean promised adventure, but it also held danger. Each wave could bring fortune or disaster. They were now at its mercy, their lives hanging in the balance, intertwined with the whims of the wind and the pull of the tide.
Exactly. The voyage transformed the ordinary into a study of survival. Those first hours were filled with the sting of salt in their eyes and the eerie creaking of timber beneath them. They knew the ocean was an unpredictable partner, a capricious force. Every choice made on board carried the weight of life and death. We were thrust into a world where uncertainty reigned, and the stakes were as high as they ever could be. This was the essence of exploration.
And amidst that chaos, emotions ran high. Homesickness settled in like a heavy fog, mixing with the fear of the unknown and a deep longing for the familiar. Each biscuit consumed was a bittersweet reminder of their mortality and the fragility of life. They weren't just sailors. They were human beings, grappling with the relentless forces of nature as well as their own inner demons. Every wave that crashed against the ship echoed their struggles and hopes, reminding them of what they stood to lose.
Ultimately, this voyage was a fragile intersection of ambition and imperial calculus. We had set forth on a calculated risk, but the ocean's response would shape everything. Would the world recognize Magellan's audacity as a bold leap forward? The ships carried the hopes of many explorers, merchants, even entire nations, but they could also bear the weight of despair, a reminder of how easily dreams can sink beneath the waves. History is often written by those who dare to venture into the unknown.
That's where we leave it for now. Part 1 of 5. Ferdinand Magellan is far from done. If you're new here, we're Aurelius and Malik, curators of the Exploration Archive, part of the Archive Network. Part 2 drops soon.